Well, I hate to say that I told you so, but I told you so. I'm just kidding. I love to say I told you so. I knew Lamine Yamal was going to be a game changer for Spain in this match against England, and I'll come right out and I'll say it straight from the bat. He's much better than any of the talents that England have on their team, and that's including Jude Bellingham. We could be looking at a world where if Barcelona had a better season this past season and just won a title, maybe just like one title, maybe just La Liga, right? With Yamal having a huge factor and playing a huge hand in this Spain success in this tournament, we could be looking at a 17-year-old, a 16, 17-year-old winning the Ballon d'Or, which is absolutely insane. He'd become the youngest player to ever win a Ballon d'Or, I'm sure. I think Michael Owen is probably next in that line. But I guess it leaves an even greater question that I think is who deserves the Ballon d'Or now? Like, who deserves it now? Is it Jude? No, I don't think so. He had a good tournament, but I wouldn't say a great tournament. He had showed flashes of brilliance, and I think you can kind of see some of his legs start to go in the last like 3 or 4 matches here because he's just been playing so much for Madrid. Is it Danny Carvajal now? I don't know. It's definitely not Vinny Jr. because his Brazil side got knocked out of the Copa America pretty early on. This is like one of the most non-clear cut Ballon d'Or selections that I think I've ever seen, and which kind of brings another question is just like what happens with Lionel Messi if he wins the Copa America tonight? Is he automatically back into the race to win another Ballon d'Or, like kind of hit like what he did last year when he won the World Cup, where he was kind of not even really in the conversation at all, and then won the World Cup, and then all of a sudden he was a favorite for it because nobody else was a real standout. That could happen again. Or could we see something unprecedented happen, like a 17-year-old winning the Ballon d'Or with all of the PR and hype that's around Lamine Yamal right now? I wouldn't be surprised, and I may even go out on a limb and say it could be well deserved, which is absolutely mad to even think about. Where I was 17 years old, I wasn't out here winning European championships and making a massive difference playing against guys that are literally double my age and embarrassing them. And to kind of add on top of that, it's just like, what do we do about this Nico Williams kid who looks every bit as good as Lamine Yamal? It's kind of scary where Spain could be in the next handful of years with some of these talents that they've developed in the Basque region, right? With Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Nico Williams now. Those four are out of this world crazy. And even our Liverpool's Stefan Bajcetic, if he can start putting some of these games together, I mean, just in the handful of games we did play him, we were saying he was the second coming of Sergio Busquets and Xabi Alonso, right? If he can add into that mix, Spain could have a dynasty brewing in terms of international football right now. Their talent pool is insane. Molero is another name that pops up in my mind, who I'm a big fan of and that I look at and I keep track of a lot. Yeremy Pino is another one who is an outrageous talent as well, was injured a lot for the last season for Villarreal, but I think he'll come back. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and a lot of those talents are coming from the Basque region in the Barcelona, area from La Masia, right? And then you got La Fabrica, who also have some really great talents as well. Spain look really good. And this is what I meant when I talked about England just don't have that caliber of talent where they are just naturally good at kicking a ball. If that makes sense. If that makes any sense at all. I don't think England has ever seen an Iniesta type of talent, right? Or a Xavi type of talent. They have some good players. England have great players. Don't get me wrong. But I'm seeing a lot of people compare Manu to Lamine Yamal on Twitter and Instagram and social media and stuff like that. There's no competition, guys. I'm going to be very, very honest here. Just based off of the eye test, there is no competition here. Lamine Yamal is a couple years younger than Kobe Manu, and he influenced a final where Kobe Mano largely pretty much disappeared. They played in the same game, guys, right? There is no comparison there. I feel like really the only comparison that you can have, like for him in terms of how he influences the game, where he's either assisting or scoring a goal, is maybe Cole Palmer. And then seeing him come on and score that goal kind of backs up that whole statement. It's like, why was Cole Palmer not played more in this Euros versus continually trying to shoehorn a Phil Foden, who is obviously a system player, who does amazing for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola and does everything that Pep needs him to do, but obviously does not fit well into this English system. Why was he not fit into this squad more so than a Phil Foden was? Which I think goes down to the management, man. If you can't understand that this player profile in a Cole Palmer or Ollie Watkins, who is much better than Kane, I think, and played in a fraction of the time. If you can't understand that and see that and swallow your pride and get your star players to understand that we are trying to do something greater than your ego in all of the goals and assists that you've scored and the trophies that you won domestically, we are trying to win an international title. And I think Spain's manager, he's done such a good job to impart that on this squad. They look like a real team that understands everybody has a part to play. Where Danny Olmo comes in a handful of games into the team and fits in like he should have been in the starting 11. And you can see just the fluidity and the trust that's inside of this entire team. It's absolutely insane. And then another one where Rodri comes off at halftime and is replaced, and it's almost like nothing happened. It's almost like Rodri didn't even leave the field, bruh. The consistency and the understanding across the entire team for Spain that this is the mission. It doesn't matter who you are, how many goals you score, what team you play for domestically. We have a goal and we have a standard that we're trying to uphold and we're trying to achieve. And you can kind of see that. How many of England's team would be upset that a 17-year-old is starting on the right wing instead of them? Think about that. The fact that some of these older strikers are swallowing their pride, or forwards are swallowing their pride. Danny Olmo, who wasn't even a start in the beginning, swallowing their pride and letting Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams do their thing. Ferran Torres could be upset, right? A lot of these other Spanish attackers, Oyarzabal could be upset, right? Who is an older attacker who has a lot of more credibility than these two. But he comes on and he scores the freaking the winner. And he hasn't played that much the entire tournament. The fact that he comes in and he fits into the role and does what the team needs is the difference between a great team that wins everything and a team that doesn't, like England. And you can look back at those 2008 Euros and that team where it was a team of absolute mega stars, right? With Xavi, with Iniesta, with Busquets, with Sergio Ramos in there. You got all these players from rival teams, but Del Bosque did an amazing job of just making sure that they understood the mission and that egos were out of the window and you played where I needed you to play and you did the role that I needed you to complete in order to make this whole thing happen. And I think that's what's missing in this English side. A brave manager that's going to come up to Harry Kane, that's going to come up to Ollie Watkins, that's going to come up to Foden, that's going to come up to Bellingham and say, you guys are not cutting it right now. I got to play Cole Palmer. I got to play Anthony Gordon. I'm playing Trent this game, Kyle Walker. I'm playing Gomez at left back because he has experience there here in Trippier. I know you're a well-seasoned guy. You're a veteran in the game, but I'm going with this selection, right? We'd probably be seeing Harry Maguire in that back line instead of Mark Gahey if he was fit. And Mark Gahey, I think, has been the best player for England. And he's only in that side out of necessity, I feel. Why was Mainu not incorporated earlier? Why was Jude Bellingham kind of shoehorned into this number 10 role that doesn't suit him very well because it's not built around him like it is in Madrid? He should have just been playing deeper into the midfield and just put Foden on the damn bench. Every time that Eberechi Eze even came onto the field, he was doing more, tracking back, creating opportunities. Put him on the left-hand side. Maybe you don't like Anthony Gordon. Put him on the left side. Why bring Adam Wharton and not give him a single minute? I don't get it. I don't get it. You brought Adam Wharton, a metronome, a guy that's very similar to Adrian Ruiz in how he plays, can dictate the play. And Ruiz, low-key. Let's be honest with Spain. Ruiz, low-key, was probably their most crucial player. Ruiz and Rodri in that midfield, they dominated games throughout this tournament. And they did the same thing against Spain in the first half. I believe it was like 70% to 30% possession. England couldn't get out of their own half because of those two. And England have those types of players. Rice can be a Rodri. Adam Wharton can be a Ruiz. Why those two weren't being played in the base of the midfield there and then giving Jude Bellingham freedom to get forward and a Danny Olmo type of role, putting Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side and putting Cole Palmer on the right-hand side and Ollie Watkins at striker. That's a much that lineup makes way more sense to me, my personal opinion. With Trent at right back, being able to play quarterback and giving you passing from deep. Playing in those runners on both sides. Anthony Gordon with his pace. Ollie Watkins with his pace. Cole Palmer being able to create something from nothing. Curl one in. That's the lineup that he needed to play, and he didn't. In international football, you need metronomes. You need people that can dictate the midfield because championships are won and lost in midfield for me. The defense was there. I think England had great defense all tournament. The midfield never got fixed, never got sorted. It just never did. And Southgate wasn't brave enough to bench an aging Kane. Yes, he's had a phenomenal season with Bayern. But I think we're now starting to see the decline in terms of at the top level where the team isn't built around you, where you're not getting hand-delivered the ball by Musiala and Leroy Sané. You're seeing that his style of play doesn't fit every style of play. Either you change the entire system to work for him, or you drop him and you tell him, I need you to play a specific role for me. And I said this in a previous video. He shouldn't have seen any minutes past the 60th minute. I think Kane against a tired team is much more dangerous against Kane against a fresh team. I think reversing the roles with Watkins and Kane would have been it would have made the most sense for Gareth Southgate. But he's not. I still don't understand how he even got the job. So the question is, where does England go from here? Mistakes were made by Southgate. Main thing in that I think that he made the most mistakes in is not playing Trent Alexander-Arnold more than he did. Not playing a game changer, not playing a guy that can turn the game on the top of its head with the swing of a boot. One of the only, if not the only players in the England squad that has that type of ability. And not playing Anthony Gordon pretty much at all. Or Adam Wharton pretty much at all. Let me know what you guys think. Where does England go from here? What do you guys want to see? I'm hearing rumors that he might get renewed. I think that's probably one of the worst decisions that the British FA can make. But let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We're going to keep coming out with some more heat and bringing you Liverpool content now that the Euros are over. I got some really good videos coming out in the next couple weeks. So make sure you guys turn on that notification bell and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in to Unconformed. My name is Roman. We'll see you next time. Peace.